Happened that changed it?
Came back and there's a letter. You owe like $28,000 in back child support.
Taking most of my paycheck.
I've never given it to me. I ain't got no child support once.
After 37 years, a man came to paternity court to
Now I have
a teenager he support a relationship
broken
I went through lots.
back.
fucking revelation.
My mom was staying with me. They had in front of
Add up the dates in my head, I conceived Christine. She had to be conceived around May 1979. Richard is not Christine's father. Does it change your opinion? Ms. Turner is your biological daughter?
No.
If you do find out today, are you willing to allow him to be in your life?
37 years, you could possibly move forward.
Telling me how you wanted to have a relationship and everything was going great. Say, I got news today.
You say your paycheck is garnished each week, leaving you only $70. Miss Frazier, you admit you've always known the plaintiff may not be. He's been held financially responsible for him.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say he really just needs to get over it.
Yes, Your Honor.
He
Your Honor.
He reveals he's had his doubts and that he's been waiting 18 years.
I always ask her, no, you're unable to have children. And now, $21,000.
Never asked child support from you. I never asked them to get child support from you, ever. You can look at the paperwork. The
yeah.
paperwork.
His. Ms. Frazier.
That's I always said the other guy's name. That's
It's
So,
18
hold on.
years. Now I've been living.
Ms. Frazier claims she never said the child was his.
When you found out you were pregnant, did you tell Mr. Whistler it was his child?
I told him I was pregnant, and he told me it wasn't his.
Did other guy sign
What
the
about the birth certificate?
No.
If I wanted that kid
To have your
my
last
last name and I wanted to claim him, I would be there for the birth, sleeping with this other man all this time.
Not until the child was 6 months old regarding the paternity.
Yes, Your Honor. She told me straight up, yes, it could be this other man. He should be standing up if it's his kid.
He
should be
does.
standing from the child
To prove his claim.
enforcement.
Take child support.
This letter from the state of Missouri indicates total past due support $20,000, and so the other man may be the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you receiving assistance from the state?
Food stamps.
They're going to then follow up with the father. Who did you tell the state? Did you put down Mr. Whistler's name too?
That was the name on the birth certificate.
Under the law, you are
Yes,
the
Your
legal
Honor.
father.
Yes, Your Honor. I was money.
Church, that's fiance. I've been doing
As your relationship to Mr. Whistler is,
fiance here on child support.
and this evidence is presented to prove what exactly, Ms. Owsley?
The penalty for lack of child support.
And I've seen them take people for lady. Here, our child's father. That this is
Alice looks like you in many ways. And so if he is,
I believe he was my father, but I was always told
she always tried to list the other person.
one time,
Do you have a relationship with that man?
not anymore.
Do you refer to him as your dad?
Yes, all the time.
You know he's on your birth certificate, right?
This episode.
Paternity of Mr. Dallas Whistler. Mr. Whistler, you are not his father.
I'm wanting to spend time with you.
In this episode, a man denies he is the father of his daughter and demands payback in child support.
Mr. Harvey, you are asking the court.
So this is a video I uploaded, I guess it's like a few hours ago, and by I mean the editors uploaded. If you read the comments in this video, the majority of people in these comments are getting angry. Obviously, like, this has been a lot of negativity for the game, and so Steven came out and made a response to the video that I made talking about the game. Here we go.
I just watched your video reviewing Narcs. very unfortunate video about Ashes, and I wanted to take just a moment to go through a couple of the things that he says that I feel are really disingenuous and unfortunately paint a very negative light on myself, on the team, on the project. And I think that it's very intentional what he did in his video.
Why?
And I think it's important to the viewers that they have an opportunity to really inspect and understand what Narc is saying and whether or not it's accurate and true and whether or not there's a bias there. And if he's trying to paint a picture that is overly negative for the purposes of trying to defame the project because of whatever reason that he's become discontent about us. But
it's hard to know why somebody, like, unless I talked to Narc, I would have no idea why he felt this way. But as I said before, I think that whenever you get super invested into something, it's very easy for something like this to happen. Super easy.
I think the biggest takeaway in watching his video that can give a real clear sign to the viewers that what he is saying is not accurate is the way he portrays the desert. And 2 years ago we had set my speed a little bit lower. 2 years ago we had a showcase of our development update, kind of walking through the zone of the desert that was completed, so that players could see what that desert's going to look like, what the zone's going to be like. And in his video he goes to the edge of the map. Basically you can see kind of this area, which is the entrance into the desert. And this desert is supposed to be relatively large. I mean, it's going to go all the way kind of down out here. And this section is still incomplete, right? We are building the game. We are in alpha. We've been very clear that there is a significant amount of work, of course, for us to do. The approach that I have taken with this project has been one to kind of show that process very clearly to the players. And he makes a claim that what we show is not real or is fake to some degree or some way, and that's just completely false. He purposefully.
So is this in Alpha 2 right now, or Alpha 1 or Alpha? I guess it's Alpha 2. This is in the game right now. Switch it to 1080p. Oh, sorry.
Goes out to the edge of the desert in his video.
It's.
No, thank you.
So the area wasn't.
You don't want to collaborate with me anyway. It's fucking codes, fucking beat my missus.
This whole
no,
section
bitch!
of the desert.
No, bitch! I flog you! I flog you on camera! What time?
That's true. No, Steven's right. Like, I would have 100% got the impression that the desert didn't have this on there. The area is in the game that Narc showed, but it's just the edge and it's not fully finished. So both things are true. What Steven is saying here is true, and Narc saying that part of the desert is unfinished is also true. But from my video that I watched of Narc, I got the impression that the things that were being shown, and correct me if I'm wrong, for those of you guys that thought this from the original video, that the desert showcase that was showcased 2 years ago or whatever was not in alpha. That was my impression that I got. Okay, so everybody got this same impression. Okay, good. I'm not saying Narc lied, I'm saying I got that impression.
Desert area that is present within the world. And he doesn't show any.
This looks exactly like what was in the Alpha 2 test. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think Narc misrepresented it because. So okay, this is the reason why. And I like Narc a lot, so I'm trying to. I want to be nice because I do really like the guy. But I think he painted a picture that was intentionally inaccurate. Because it's very obvious that when you have an alpha for a game, the entire game isn't completed or finished. But to say that the desert that we were promised wasn't in the game is only a partial truth. And I think the partial truth hinges on not taking into consideration that the game isn't fully completed. Like, I've played AAA demos
what up, boys?
that are like
So I make this video with quite a heavy...
Like, I played, like, let me think of some examples of this. No Rest for the Wicked, the demo for that, like, a lot of the game wasn't finished. I played, I think World of Warcraft is the best example. Like, how many of you guys remember the super popular videos that I did of WoW where I go into the alpha and it's not available yet? Or, like, there's big, huge swaths of the game that aren't doable. He also claimed the desert that they had was easily put in Unreal Engine in 10 minutes. Yeah, the desert not being expanded on. It seems like Narc was focused on nothing new has been shown into various alphas. Well, from my impression, that's not what I got out of it. Yeah, that's not what I got out of it myself. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He did
the map to try to demonstrate to the viewer that what we showed was not real, when in fact there is a...
It was misleading.
Some remnants of the desert showcase that was shown in 2022. Yet what we received was this, an empty wasteland that could be generated in Unreal Engine 5 in seconds, with the Winstead and Mirrorleth nodes being copy-pasted onto them, slightly rotated. The state of the desert has obviously sent a lot of people into a confused frenzy, with Reddit posts popping up expressing this concern. This isn't just isolated to me, guys. This is what everyone in the community feels. However, these posts are now being locked by Steven Sharif himself, and people...
Did he say... I didn't hear full desert. Did you guys hear full desert? In the game for the most part? And Narc got mad that they said launch phase 2. Yeah, this is misleading. It's misleading. Like, it is. Like, I don't know what else to say.
What the fuck is
present
in
within
shit?
the world, and he doesn't show any of that, which I think is really just unfortunate here for the players. Give them a Christmas hat because they found me. And he doesn't show any of that, which I think is really just unfortunate here for the player here. Give them a Christmas hat because they found me. So, you know, just kind of running through the space, you know, you ask yourself, why would Narc purposefully show for 1.5 minutes in his video a completely barren section of the edge of the map to try to demonstrate to the viewer that what we showed was not real, when in fact there is a...
It was misleading. It was like this absolutely misleading.
Portion of the desert that is complete, that is a playable space, that has monsters in it, that is exactly what we showed in our preview of the desert biome. It's completely disingenuous, and it's intended to influence the viewer's perception of us, of myself, and to demean, you know, our character, which is just completely unfair. And we don't have a way to inform all of the people who go and watch it. You know, it has over 100,000 views now, or your video, which is going to have, you know, 500,000 or 1 million views, and people are going to walk away from that video. They're going to think, wow, you know, why would they show something that is inaccurate when here is exactly what we showed, right? So I think it's important that people see that, and I think it's important that they understand that this section of the world is here that we do not show any updates or development that is not real, that is fake. I understand that people have been burned through many other developments that have, shown things that aren't exactly accurate. But that's not the case.
This looks like a desert area that I would expect to see in an MMO when it looks... It's some kind of a boss. Yeah, this looks fine. It looks really good. Yeah, Steven's also misrepresenting this. No, he's not. So Steven's saying the desert is incomplete, and Narc's saying the desert is not what we were promised. One of these statements is true, and the other one is simply not true. The alpha was never advertised to be 100% like asset or feature complete. This was never a promise. It was never advertised. And in every single alpha for every single game, this is what happens. And if you play any game in an alpha state, you see situations like this. And if you don't believe me, look at me playing games in alpha states, like search Asmongold Alpha, and you'll see me playing games that are like this. No shit, yeah. Yeah, PoE 2 doesn't have 3 acts, exactly. Steven's also misrepresenting this. They stated on December 20th that the alpha in the desert was expanded, but everything that Steven was showing was already in the game, and the expansion that Narc was playing. That's not what Narc said. Listen to what he said.
And the Tropics location.
This prompted people to finally expect some remnants of the desert showcase that was shown in 2022. Yet what we received was this, an empty...
That is a factually untrue statement. I don't know what else to say.
Wasteland that could be generated in Unreal Engine 5 in seconds, with the Winstead and Miraleth nodes being copy-pasted onto them, slightly rotated. The state of the desert has obviously sent a lot of people into a confused frenzy, with Reddit posts pop...
This is such an obvious misrepresentation. Is this, you want me to go back? What am I going back to? The showcase was available 2 years ago, was not in the game. It's kind of confusing. No, it's not. 20% of the desert has assets, 80% is empty. The rest of the map has nothing in it. It's not in the showcase, and that's the point of Narc's video. Well, here's the point, too. Am I going to believe... Like, Steven has spent, like, 3 minutes riding around in the desert, zoomed out, with like movement speed turned on, showing the desert in large swaths from a bird's eye view. Meanwhile, Narc is showing one clip of one area in the desert. So my logical brain is going to assume that the person who is showing more information is probably going to be more right. Like, how can you not think like this? It's shocking that how is this even happening? The phase isn't done yet. No, it's not. Like, log into the game.
As we stick to that transparent, aspect of showing our community, showing our core audience, what we're working on, and what's up and coming. We're now in this Alpha 2 phase where players are capable of participating.
And Narc both have a miscommunication? No. No, that's not what's happening. Like, no, like, look, I like Narc, but that's not what's happening.
what those things can be. And it is very unfortunate when, you know, NARC, for the purposes of acquiring, you know, views and or followers and subscribers,
who knows why,
wants to take things to a very negative place.
I don't know why. I don't even think that's the reason.
But instead,
personally, I don't even think that NARC is doing it for views. I don't know why he's doing. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's just for views.
he had an opportunity to expand upon what we're doing to kind of educate, you know, people as part of this transparent development process, what it takes to make an MMORPG. And for many years he did that, but, you know, over the course of the last year he went to a very negative place, and because of that we didn't engage with him at all as a content creator, and I think that led to, you know, him creating this kind of negative echo chamber, which he became beholden to, which is unfortunate. So anyways, I heard your
like I just negative place. I don't know what happened. How it's like you're being paid not to do it. You have to look at what's happening. You have to look at reality. You have to be able to accurately assess and evaluate what you're seeing in an authentic way without letting your personal biases and your previous opinions about something color that opinion. It's not about whether something is good or bad. It's about whether something is accurate or not. That's what it mainly is. It's not about hating on games or not hating on games. It's about looking at the evidence and making an informed decision based off of the most information possible. That's the, and I think that NARC's video did not lead us to that conclusion. I think it was, it was a deliberate misleading. I mean, if you have, he's showing that the desert is unfinished, and you can see on the mini map he's basically at the edge of he's at the edge of the map. I think that this is a misinterpretation. So Steven is acting unprofessionally. Why do you think Steven is acting unprofessional? Why do you think that? Okay. Let me see. He did respond. Because he did exactly what the Concord dev did, but in a more roundabout way. He basically said that NARC has mental issues. No, he didn't. Let's go back over. We're gonna
clear that this
state Nomad, can you maybe like get in contact with NARC and then put me in a group D? Oh, yo, what's up, man?
Is
so
because of the whole situation.
So how'd this start? Because it seems like
like this is when Yamato like screams or whatever. Heal me! I'm dying! I'm dying! Like heal her.
Actually.
Terrible. Because you see their hours just gone. It's actually crazy to think about. That fucking sucks. It is what it is. Like I said, oh, if healer didn't heal, blah, 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 take care of yourself, bro. Put on a fucking shield. It is what it is. Alright, so this one is called Joker Crash Out Each Dungeon.
It's the ultimate greediest I've ever seen.
He's not taking bombs, he's fucking taking them.
Why do I not need, bro? You think I'm here?
Okay, he needed. Hydra needed. Maui needed. I imagine this guy needed. So they all needed. Yes. Joker is fucking notorious for spam needing, by the way. This guy does do this, so we're clear.
Here to fucking
like
help you guys?
It's the ultimate greediest I've ever seen.
He's not
Why do I not need, bro? You think I'm here to fucking help you guys? Hell no.
It's like
Maybe we can fucking talk shit every 5 seconds. That's okay. I'm
100%, by the way. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. But like in a lot of these dungeons, it's like nonchalant, whatever. But so it doesn't matter. Like they're pretty easy after a while. You don't really need to do it. But dude, nobody waits for the tanks to get any threat ever. The tanks pull, the pole touches, like walks around the corner. Everybody starts fucking blasting. By the way, everybody. Even like the offhand tanks, they all do it. Everybody does it. Yeah, there's no patient, whatever. So then it just gets all fucked up. Let's see. He's literally dead. Yeah, there's no patient fucked up. Before cross.
Here.
Okay, I mean, he's literally dead. 100% on.
Very good.
I bet if I watch this poll, I bet he's actually right. Let's see. Okay, he pulls. One hits.
The thing is,
this guy's instantly using ability.
no Hydra. It's a very good thing that our group, there's no way we're gonna do a soda in here because the tank doesn't tank in this one.
Okay, this poll isn't bad, so I don't think he's talking about this poll.
Be if one of you guys. I don't know why I'm mocking blow that golem off you now. I was like, wait.
Next segment. Next segment.
Why is she so loud? What is it? What was this one?
Which, oh, by the way, I didn't show this before. So. Which, oh, by the way, I didn't show this before. So there was a mod on Marvel Rivals that turned Captain America, obviously, into guess who? Old Donald, right? And then, of course, Nexus Mods has banned the mod. Big surprise. Trump is Captain America, and the mod you were looking for could not be found.
People were also quick to point out the double standards of this platform, which always ignored mods made for Biden or Obama and allowed users to upload mods critical of Trump, while instantly shutting down a seemingly positive mod that was going viral.
Modding is fundamentally player freedom. Why do people like modding? Why do people think modding is cool? Well, it gives them freedom to do what they want with the game. And then you actively suppress that freedom. You're running into a pretty big problem here, aren't you? As soon as people realize that they're not able to get the mods that they want, Nexus Mods keeps banning more things, then yeah, there'll be more people that move away from it. I mean, if you allow mods that sexualize characters that are canonically underage, but you disagree with having a mod that turns Captain America into Donald Trump, your priority system is completely distorted, and you shouldn't have any sort of administrative control over anything. If this is your tier list of values, there's something wrong with you.
The intro. Four. Before you go back to work and look ugly. to your boyfriend at work likes you?
Well, it's just for myself, idiot.
Alright, stream, I have to take the woman to get her face fucking fixed because it's hideous.
Fix.